Hello there, Martin. Good to see you again. Wanted to do this short video just to walk you through some of the things which I think you are missing out on when it comes to getting some good engagement of who you are as a real estate agent on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You're obviously a keen video creator, and here's some of the ways that you can be an even better video creator. We'll see you on the other side. Mr. Martin Towers, welcome to your LinkedIn profile. Now, before I jump into this one, I just wanted to let you know that I've made some assumptions in recording this video. The first one is that I'm assuming that you get and you understand that you can build a tribe and an audience purely online on Facebook and LinkedIn. Second assumption is that I'm assuming that you want to grow your business and get more leads or get more conversations. And the third one is I'm assuming that you want to get there faster than what you're currently doing. If those three assumptions are correct, then this video is for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through having a look at your LinkedIn and your Facebook fan page, and I'm going to look at your website as well, and how we could potentially optimize or change a few little things. And the third one, I'm going to show you some of the people who use video well and how they frame their video content and get the engagement that they deserve. And the last thing I'm going to share with you are the 4 different types of content that you can create purely by yourself on LinkedIn and Facebook. The 4 different types of content that get results. So, okay, so here we are on your LinkedIn profile. You're rocking along. I love it. It's great. You know, first of all, LinkedIn isn't your platform of choice. You're probably more on Facebook, or you started on Facebook, but I can see that you're seeing the value of LinkedIn. Great to see that you've got a cover photo, the real estate at the top. I would try and shift this information here into the top right-hand corner and make the information here not about you. It needs to be about them. What's the result that they get? Second one is you've chosen to use your brand rather than a profile picture. Kill the brand, put your profile picture, nice teethy grin in there. In your headline, most people have used LinkedIn in the past for about what you do. And it's like, it's just not about you. It's about them. So what's in it for them? Have a headline that says to you what they get. It's not about you. What do they get? Your about section. I make real estate videos. Yeah, right. I'm going to show you some profiles where you're missing out on by telling this information. It's great, it's short and sweet, I love it. It's kind of like, sounds like you're a busy person. I haven't got time to write anything in here, and you're missing out on an opportunity there. In terms of your activity on LinkedIn, you're getting sweet FA engagement. You're getting a couple of likes there, which is fine. And it's, you know, I've already looked at your Facebook profile or your Facebook fan page, and there's consistency. So well done on repurposing the content that you're creating on Facebook and putting it on LinkedIn. It works. But there's very little engagement. Let's have a look at your Facebook fan page. Look, you're an authentic guy. I've watched your videos. You're great. You know, I'm looking at this video here. You're obviously putting some numbers or some digital dollars behind that, which is fantastic. It's great educational content. But I think, and you've got some big numbers, people following you. So this is where you've been spending and building you're building your audience. But there's, I believe, 2 things that you are missing. Let's talk about the good things first of all. I love this.
If you're buying or selling a house, and the predominant reasons for a final inspection. So the main thing...
A motion graphic, an opener, a musical sting, as you call it. Rock on, you good fella. You're on fire. Most people don't do that. They just kind of like, just do a boring real estate video. Yeah, right. So good on you for framing that. You can you've obviously seen a lot of people do that. Put that in the middle of the video before you get into what you're going to talk about, or whether you put it at the end as well. So yeah, again, look, you're getting much better engagement. I can see that you're obviously talking about this. You love doing video in the car. Why do you like doing video in the car? Because the audio is really good, right, Mr. Towers? You're a confident, authentic, good-looking man, and it works, right? But take a leaf out of Tim Webb's book. Get yourself a microphone and get some lighting, and you can do video anywhere. So, there's lots of great content in here, but when we get to the content piece, I'm going to show you this is what you're really missing out on. But I just love the tie and the shirt. It's pretty consistent, but everything's in the car. I think there's an opportunity to create some content around the creativity of in the car. This is a wee bit left of field, but how can you create a creative concept of in the car with Martin Towers? Or so it's like, take a ride with me, and I'm going to share some information around how you can maximize the value of your house. You're doing stuff in the car already. How do you take that next step further? Website time. Look, I get that you're with Ray White. That's fantastic, and this works really well. And you've got some core information at the top. What I would do in terms of, I'm not a website guy, but the top right-hand corner is the most important section of your video. What do you want them to do? And as I understand, I have a few real estate agent clients, including Mr. Webb, but I've also had Steve and Lisa Stone from Ray White. And the most important thing is, what do you want them to do? Your book and appraisal has to be up here in the top right-hand corner. But, you are a video guy, which is fantastic. You've got some video testimonials. Rock on with your good self. That is fantastic. And I haven't watched these videos, and I'm assuming that they are framed as in, what was the pain beforehand? When you came to Martin Towers, what did I get? What was the result afterwards? And if you're sitting on the fence, what do you really get? Okay. So there's your LinkedIn, there's your Facebook, there's your website. Let's look briefly at some of the people, and I'm going to focus on LinkedIn because that generally is the platform that I prefer to spend a lot of time on. And some of the people that use video really well, and I know that you've been following people and you've been learning, and it's bloody brilliant that you've been doing that. So I'm going to look at a couple of people. Should we look at Tim Webb first? I wasn't going to show you to Mr. Tim Webb, but sure, let's look at Tim Webb, shall we? Now, Tim, like you, is focused primarily on LinkedIn, primarily focused on Facebook, not LinkedIn. So as a video presentation coach, my platform is LinkedIn, tends to be more B2B, but I have B2B and B2C clients. And Tim is rocking along, as you know. And I gave him the concept of the 12 days of Christmas, and he knows how to boost and to go into Facebook Business Manager and apply some numbers to that. I think he said he was spending $25 a day. $25 total over the life of the campaign. And I know that there's some great numbers in telling people your story. So yeah, Tim's rocking along with video, and I think what we've got to do is I'm video focused, but it's important to obviously temper that with images and content, images and written content as well. So it's not just all about video. People don't want to always look at video if they follow you. They want to see some written and some image content as well. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Glenn Marvin is a really prolific poster. And when I show you his content, the first thing I want to show you is the About section. Now, I talked to you about You're Short and Sweet, I do videos, you should call me. Is people connect through story. And if you take a leaf out of Tim Webb is he tells great stories. But you can tell great stories in a written format as well. And Martin Towers, you have a story. You have a family and some beautiful children, a beautiful wife, and a story comes before what you do. People want to connect with you as a person. And as a real estate agent, it's actually not about the business of real estate. It's actually the business of people. And I know you know that. So here's Glenn Marvin's story. When I was 16 years of age, I nearly died. Now, has that got anything to do with real estate? No. Does it lead to what he does? Hell yeah. But you can do that inside of 1,300 characters or wherever it is. The other thing that you're going to see from Glenn's activity is that you're going to see content that is not just about the business of what he does. Sure, there is stuff on his business, but it's actually around 3 core pillars: self, business, and community. And that's what you're missing from your profiles. I train all of my clients to say, guys, it's just not about business. Because people buy people. Now, Glenn showcases things that work on Facebook, on his Facebook personal page. And that needs to sit on your fan page as well as your business page. Here is a great story. Look at these numbers. And now Glenn has only really been in business connector-wise, as I understand, about 18 months. So for you to stand out as a real estate agent is share vulnerable personal stories about yourself.
One of the things that I thought was my greatest asset growing up, and even in the police force, was I considered myself this sort of cultural chameleon. I could walk into a situation and I could read a room and
So there's Glenn telling a bit of a story in a podcast and creating some content. And some of the images are just nothing to do with business. It's about everything else. And as I said, it's about family. If one of your core pillars is about family, and I would probably suggest it is, then you need to talk about how invested you are in that community. You know, there's just nothing to do with, if you look through here, it's about people and community and family. Another profile, I'm just going to show you one more, otherwise this video will be really long, and I'm going to show you someone in America, and this is Shay Rowbottom, and I'm sure you've probably seen some of her content pop up on LinkedIn, unless you're a busy fella, and you probably are. Shay, I'm not connected with her. The maximum number of connections you can have on LinkedIn is 30,000. She has 146,000 followers. So she's rocking this world. And we'll be looking at her activity. And you said you want to talk about creating video. Most real estate agents get it all wrong and they say, I create videos. Like, yep, you do. But most people think that it's open home video is what video is. Like, well, that's part number one. Number two is educational video content. And third is about me, and then 4 is story, and then 5 is community. And most people stop at number 1 because, like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. Now, if you're a person who wants to put yourself out there, you want to take a leaf out of Shay Rowbottom's business. She started her business a year ago, and she's making $200,000 a day. And why? Because she's entertaining. Now, I'm not asking you, I don't know much about you other than from chatting with our coffee today, but the secret here is you're going to inform, educate, and entertain. Most people inform or educate. Entertaining is where it lives. Tim Webb sings. He's being entertaining. He gets engagement because people love being entertained. Do you play a musical instrument? Do you tell jokes? Oh, okay, maybe not jokes. Do you, it's share yourself vulnerably and you will get great engagement. Just like Shay Rowbottom. I mean, look at these numbers. Martin, it's absolutely friggin' ridiculous. 29,000 views, likes, comments. I mean, she's a woman and she's friggin' beautiful. But look at, I don't even do this for myself. I don't have time to do all this. But it's possible. Sif's got a team of people working with it. All right, so we're going to jump into the 4 different types of content. You're going to learn something. Get out a pen, get out a piece of paper, write this down. Mr. Towers. So the first thing you want to be creating, let's call it, we're going to start with educational content. And this is what Shay does really well.
I realized that the more I was myself, the more attraction I actually garnered. And yeah, you could look at it like, oh, you're turning some people off from business. For every person I turn off, there's 20 new people coming and knocking on my door.
Are you all about lead? Is that all about you?
Educational content, quite simply, is educational content, and you've been doing that very well. Great to see that you're doing that and educating people on the business of real estate. And you are one step ahead of most real estate agents because you're willing to put yourself out there and give away your secrets. Number 2 video we're going to talk about type of content that you can create is kudos videos. Now I'm going to show you one of my clients, Lara McCormick, is an email marketer, and I recommend that if you want to do some email, you connect with Lara. Lara is a networking queen, right? She's come from that TNG, BNI space, and she sees the value of talking to people about their business. So the first post here that we have on her LinkedIn profile is not about her. It's not about her business. It's about someone else. And it's about how can you bring that value of another person and sing their praises. And it's about, the person being interviewed is like, oh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing my stuff on LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah. Talk about someone other than yourself. The next one we're going to show you is, the next one is, oh, goodness me, I might have had a couple of wines. It is commentary post. Now, this is a woman that I've recently connected with. She's not a client, although I might have pitched to her recently. And she has been posting content, but what she's been doing is that this is what most people do on LinkedIn and sometimes on Facebook, is they take a link and think, oh, shit, that's a really good idea. I'm going to repost that content on my profile with no copy, just an image, because I haven't got time. So, what you need to do is, commentary is, hey, WebMD did a great article on how an afternoon nap may lower your blood pressure. Well, look, an afternoon nap is really good, but here's my perspective. And you write that as copy, or you do that as a video. Now, in real estate, you can be polarizing. Probably, it depends on your brand voice, which is another conversation for another coffee. But if you are honoring who you are authentically, then you can tell your story and frame that content in a way that gets attention. So don't just repost, create content and then reference that, because it's just you're giving credence to another person. What have I done? We've done kudos, we've done education, we've done commentary. The last one is personal story. And let's go to another client of mine who is a whiskey guy out of Hamilton. And this guy came to me and he's already got amazing awareness on LinkedIn and on Facebook and Instagram and all the other platforms. But he came to me and said, I need to up my game. So what we're doing here with Ash particularly is people telling their personal story around how they got to be where they are. And if we scroll down a little bit, this is a good example in terms of a video that he did. And it's the personal story. It's got nothing to do with selling whiskey, but it's got everything to do with the story that led me to be the person that I am.
I was 17 years old when we moved here. Our migration to New Zealand was talked about for a long time. I was a big part of the process. When parents decided, look, we're going to look to migrate.
So as you can see, personal story is what we actually relate to. It's how we buy into the people that we buy into. Now, this guy sells whiskey. You sell houses. You need to tell personal story. It's got nothing to do with real estate because people buy you. And look at these numbers. Now, admittedly, this is Ash. It's going to be different for you. But anyway, those are the 4 different types of content. Hopefully, Martin, you found some of that information valuable. If you'd like to have a conversation around how I can help you create content and then consistently push that out on LinkedIn and Facebook, you know where to find me. I think there's a link below this video where you can schedule another time with me. You have a cracking day, good sir. Hopefully you found that valuable, Martin. Would love to have another conversation with you if you find any of this valuable for 2020 and helping you win on social media with video.